Hey, what's up you guys? It is Ty, and I have something really important to talk to you about. So today's video is about coming out, and of course coming out can be very scary and difficult no matter who you're telling or how you expect them to react. So it's something that you should put a lot of thought into beforehand to make sure that you can accurately convey your feelings and get the best response possible. So today I am going to give you guys some tips as well as some things you should avoid when coming out. So I am going to be focusing on like family members, using parents as examples, but of course these are things that you can apply when coming out to anyone. So the first thing that I think is really important is to know what you're going to say. Now this doesn't mean you need to write out a speech and practice it in front of the mirror every day. I just mean to get your ducks in a row. If you have ducks. If you don't, you can't come out. I'm sorry. Get ducked. Ducky. So the general perception of coming out is that you're almost like confessing something about yourself. But I think there's a lot more to it than that. Like not only are you telling your mom that you're trans, but you're also asking her for her support. And I feel like that's something that not a lot of people really consciously think about. And in my opinion, it's extremely important when thinking about what you're going to say. In most cases, people won't automatically know what you're talking about when you tell them that you're trans. So be ready to inform them. Like this might be a really foreign idea to some people. And if that's the case, just try your best to make it seem as normal and not scary as possible. Just because it'll probably be comforting for them to know that being trans is a lot more common than they realize. If you're wanting to start hormones and physically transition, make sure you explain to them what that means and how that works. And of course, why it is absolutely necessary for your well-being that you are able to transition. When I came out to my parents, I showed them YouTube videos of guys' transitions, like this is my 1 year on T and here's what it did to my body kind of stuff. And that really helped them understand what was going on and what I was going for. And seeing that there are a lot of trans guys out there who go on T and transition and go through the same things that I was wanting to go through made them a lot more comfortable with the idea of me doing it. As nicely and sincerely as possible, to the best of your ability, just try to make your parents understand that this is something that you really want, that you've decided for yourself, and that you've looked into and put a lot of thought into, and you know that this is what you need to do. So those are just some things that I came up with for you guys to keep in mind. So now I want to talk about the circumstances and kind of situations you should aim for when coming out. So in my opinion, the best thing to do is just come out to the easiest people first. If you know someone is going to be more inclined to listen and understand you, then that is the person you should start with. Because then it'll feel really good to just get it off your chest and take that initial leap with someone who will react in a way that may ease your anxiety about having these future conversations. Another thing that I think is extremely important, maybe one of the most important things I am talking about in this video, is to come out to people individually. I know it's a lot more work to come out to each person one at a time, but it'll seriously help you get the best reaction and the most support when you're having these one-on-one conversations. There's a lot more connection, and you can tailor what you're saying to incite that desired reaction from whomever you're telling. So to recap, my tips for coming out are: know what you're going to say, start with the easiest people first, and tell everyone individually. Now I'm going to talk about some things I think you should definitely avoid. First off, writing a letter. Coming out to someone in a letter isn't a bad thing, but I strongly feel like it should be used as a last resort. Like, I understand that there are some people that you really literally cannot have this conversation with. So yeah, like if talking to that person face to face is just not an option, writing a letter would be your best bet. Rather than showing up to your next family event with a full beard like, oh yeah, by the way. But if you can help it, I'd say really try to have that conversation with them so there's that human connection. Again, if you feel like for whatever reason you need to write a letter, then do it, but don't make it your go-to method of coming out to everyone. Just handing out coming out letters to each member of your family like birthday party invitations or something, you know. It's not something I'd advise. And that kind of leads me into my next tip, which is to avoid coming out at family events or any kind of gathering with a lot of people whose opinions will affect your life. Like I said earlier, it's best to tell everyone individually. So you for sure don't want to stand up and make that announcement at Thanksgiving dinner, mostly because it takes the connection out of the equation and gives a lot of room for people to just jump on board with the opinion of whoever talks first. It's just a major gamble. Chances are arguments will break out and a lot of drama will occur. People will talk more than they listen and nobody will leave happy. So, you know, don't be that fucking asshole that ruins everyone's Thanksgiving. That's not what you want. You want to give every person the chance to talk about it and understand it with you one-on-one. And the final thing that you should absolutely not do is come out during an argument. I feel like this is really obvious, but people still do it. You know, they get upset and just throw it at their parents like it's something that's meant to hurt them, and then that's how it's received, and that's not what you want. That's bad. Don't do that. So those are my tips for coming out. This is all just based on my own opinion and my experience, so if you don't agree with it and you have your own way of doing things, that's all good. You probably know your loved ones better than I do, and can probably figure out the best way to come out to them. I've just received this question a lot, thought I'd make a video about it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great day. And that's it, so I will talk to you soon. Hey, what's up you guys? It is Ty, and I have something really important to tell you.